Hey guys, I'm Lauren, Carter's girlfriend. So today he posted his 4 months on testosterone and wanted me to watch a video, so I did. I've watched all four of them so far. And it got me thinking that I should post a video about how it is being in a transgender FTM, female to male relationship. Um, It's not easy, I will say that, but it doesn't change anything, doesn't change how I felt about him. When he first told me that he was a transgender, that he was a female to male, back in January, when we were best friends, I could sense that he was scared that he was going to lose me because of me being a lesbian, me liking girls, and only seeing him one way, when in reality it just brought me closer to him. It made me feel special because I was the second person he told. I wasn't the first, no. It's a long story why, but it bothered me a little bit, but not too much because I was told like a couple days later after he made the decision. But yeah, so I've known him when he was a she. When he was a girl, I used to hate him, to be honest. I hated him with all my guts. I wanted to strangle him sometimes, and I just never wanted to see him. He always came into my work, and I just hated it. I always wanted to kick him out. We ended up coming closer towards the end of last year, though. A lot of stuff has happened between both of us that made us become closer. I fell for him when he was a girl. That was another thing, is that he never admitted to liking me back until February after he already came out as a FTM. But after I found that out, I finally understood why he felt so nervous to tell me of the fact that my feelings for him might have went away, and they never did. They actually have gotten stronger since we've been together, or since we've gotten together, and since he's actually told me. I've been his best friend ever since November, and I stuck by his side ever since he's told me back in January. I haven't left. I see him as a guy now, not as a girl. No matter what, I see him as a guy. It's one thing that is hard though are the pronouns because of our situation at the moment. There are some family things going on to where sometimes I do still have to say she and girlfriend and her. So it is very difficult with the pronouns, but when I'm out in public, I really do try to say him and he and boyfriend. This past month has been really difficult on him for pronouns because a lot of people still misgender him and he doesn't like it. It makes him feel out of his skin. It makes him feel upset, like he's not who he should be. So I've been actually correcting people, especially when I'm around him or if we're just talking about him. Me and him both have a lot of friends who both knew him when he was a girl, and they still call him a she because they're not used to the fact yet of the FTM. And I work with most of them, so I try to help them, guide them in the direction that he is a he, that you need to start using those pronouns. It is difficult to be in it is difficult to know someone who, from being a female to a male, seeing through the whole transition. He has been on T for 4 months now. We have been together for 4 months now. So he started T the day before we got together. I will have to say it has been very difficult. Everyone always asks me, would I ever suggest anyone to date a transgender person, male to female, female to male, whichever it is, when they first start their hormones? And honestly, I would say no, especially for FTM, because of the testosterone. It's really, if you can't handle the aftermath of what would happen, then you shouldn't be in a relationship with a newborn, I should say. It's a lot to handle, especially with the mood swings and everything that comes along with it. Anger builds up a lot, and that's one of the side effects with my boyfriend Carter, is that he already had a lot of anger before the transition. and always try to hold it in. And now with taking the T, it actually makes it worse sometimes. And he tries to hold it in. He tries to be his best, and he always does his best. But we all have our moments where we just fall apart and break down. And lately, that's happened a lot, especially after his up on T to 100 milligrams. I have seen a lot of changes with him though. His shoulders have gotten their muscular definition, especially after his surgeries. His voice has gotten deeper. It has been easier for him to talk in a deeper voice than it was for him before the transition. He's starting to get facial hair. So it is different, and I do get the question of why have a boyfriend if you're gay. I recently came out as a lesbian back in August of 2013, and only dated one girl before him, and then I ended up dating him, and everyone was confused. I honestly date people on their personality and who they are, not their gender. So it really didn't matter to me that he was a he. I love him, so that's all I think that should matter. He has a great personality that hasn't changed with the testosterone. If anything, I think it's gotten a lot better, especially knowing him from before and knowing how he was before. He treats me really well. He tries to give me as much attention as he can. It's very difficult, especially since he's beginning with the T. He needs to focus on himself a lot, and all that stuff. But he's overall a great person. I don't regret being in a relationship with him, not at all. But I do know it has been one of the most difficult things in my life. I usually can take something thrown at me and be able to handle and juggle it for as long as I need to. But this, I have to say, has been one of the few things that has been thrown at me, and sometimes I don't know how to handle it. Sometimes there are times where I feel like it's my fault for what happens, although I know it's the T that's acting on it. There are some times where I blame him when I shouldn't. So I would do. It has been a difficult time together, but I just feel like going through this together is what makes us stronger and makes him be a stronger person. So yeah, that's my view on dating a FTM transgender. Yeah, if you have any more questions, just let me know, and I'll post another video within the next month for his 5-month update, and I'll just keep you guys updated monthly, or try to. Yeah, so. But I will say one thing, I am happy with where I'm at and with my choice, and I wouldn't take it back. So, thanks.